Hi dear Leos, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the month of September. September is not as eventful as August, but still it's an interesting month. At the very beginning of September we have 6 planets in retrograde. That's like more than half of the solar system in retrograde, going backwards. And so the progress can feel frustratingly slow in these conditions. I mean, don't feel frustrated, instead use this time to work on the things that are already in progress. Yeah, it's a great time for that. And what else? In September, 2 personal planets, Venus and Mercury, are going to turn direct. Yay! Because we feel the retrograde motion of the personal planets the most because they affect our daily life. Like Mercury retrograde causes confusion, misunderstanding, miscommunication. Venus causes misunderstandings in relationships, frustrations in relationships, conflicts. Yeah. So thankfully, those 2 are going to turn direct in September. And now I'm going to do the usual overview of the outer planets to kind of like provide a background of what is going on in our life and slowly like zoom into like our daily life. And so for the past 15 years Pluto has been in Capricorn, transforming corporations, banks, institutions, power structures, government. Yeah, those things have been transforming. All of the financial crisis that started in 2008, it was all because of Pluto in Capricorn. And now Pluto is reaching its finish line in Capricorn. So again, I would say I would expect some government stuff, expose, banks collapsing and stuff. I would expect those things. Our times we're experiencing those. And for you Leos, this Pluto has been in your 6th house. 6th house is your work. So your work routine has been transformed in the past 15 years. Your health, yeah, dear Leos, I hope your health has been well. And so yeah, the good news is we're almost done. We're almost there. 1 more year of this. I mean, Pluto is finally gonna leave Capricorn 100% in 2026. But in 2025 it's gonna leave too, but it's gonna be coming back back because of the retrogrades. Yeah, and then next, Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces has been spewing out fake news for a decade now. This year, it's been 10 years since Neptune entered Pisces. It rules fake news and propaganda because Neptune rules collective subconscious. Yeah, that's why there has been so much mental illness, because Pisces, I mean, I love Pisces, but let's be honest, Pisces can be associated with delusion. Yeah. Yeah, and mental illness, because it's like the very last house, so we dump all of our problems in the 12th house, and so mental problems, mental issues, that's Pisces. That's why collectively there has been a lot of mental illness. And thankfully Neptune is going to leave Pisces in a couple of years, so let's be patient. So yeah, be aware, there's so much fake news. It's hard to believe news nowadays. Have you noticed that? All of the news, even respectable newspapers like the New York Times, they're not objective. They don't even try to be, they don't even pretend to be objective anymore. This is crazy. We are living in crazy times. And so Neptune in Pisces is asking you to get in touch with your voice of consciousness, I guess, the spirit. We have souls, and we know this, the consciousness is something. Conscience is something that we all have in common. Yeah. And so Neptune in Pisces is asking us to get in touch with that. Yeah, because all of this fake news, fakeness, lies, propaganda, we are like looking within. Okay. And Leos, for you, that is your 8th house. 8th house is a house of intimacy, shared resources, loans. Yeah, deep intimacy. So you've been feeling those nebulous Neptune in Pisces energies in that area. Think of it as like fog. So but like on a good note, Neptune in Pisces can give you like divine kind of connection in there, divine intimacy. So I hope it played out in that way instead of like confusion. And then next, Uranus in Taurus. This one is cool because it's in your 10th house. 10th house is the house of career, your public image, your status, your purpose, okay, your legacy in the world. And Uranus has been innovating, bringing innovations to that area of your life since early 2019. Yeah, so your career probably transformed, or you probably worked at jobs you never thought you would work. Maybe you got projects or clients that are like that, really original, unique people. Uranus can do that. And or like shocking, like sudden changes, surprises in career. Another bonus is you have Jupiter in there as well in your 10th house. So this year, from May until next May, your career is up for expansion because Jupiter, whatever it is, it expands. Yeah, so it's a great time for your career, Leos. Like take all the projects you can, like get all the promotions you can, because this is your time to shine. With these two outer planets in your 10th house, this is a great time for your career. And then what else? And now a mini ad about my readings. Okay, I offer astrology readings, like birth chart analysis, synastry readings, compatibility, astrocartography. What else? Transits, progressions, all of that stuff. If you are interested, please email me or leave a comment. I will contact you. And the way I charge is pay whatever you can. Okay, I don't have a fixed price. Some customers have been really generous. I really appreciate that. Like they paid much more than I expected, and it was very pleasant. And but those of you who are struggling financially, yeah, don't feel hesitated. Like I understand, I've been broke myself, and I feel like that's when we need astrology the most. Okay, so I hope I will be able to help. So yeah, thank you. Now I'm gonna talk about the inner planets. I talked about the outer planets and now the inner ones. So on September 3rd in America, or for most of the world, it's gonna be September 4th. Venus is gonna turn direct in Leo on the 12th degree of Leo. That means in your first house, dear Leos. And so I hope the Venus retrograde has been good for you. I hope you were able to analyze and understand your true worth. Like Greta Gerwig, the lady who directed the Barbie movie, she's a Leo, and look at the success she's been having. Like she is like one of the most successful female directors now. She's the only female director whose movie grossed like $1 billion in the box office. That's a huge success. And so for Leo, as a Leo, she probably was able to understand her true worth, her talent. Venus in retrograde has been giving her that. So she was like, wow, I actually am a good director. Like, so she's probably having been having such realizations. And I hope for you, Leos, you have been having similar realizations, similar success. Okay, I have a Leo roommate, my friend, and she has been analyzing her salary. Like she realized that she's being underpaid, and yeah, so I remember her being frustrated and talking about it, how like new people were getting paid more than those who's been working there for a year or two. Yeah, so she something similar could have happened with you guys, Leos. And for other Leos, it might have been about your relationships. Relationships are prominent, and as I said, my Leo friend, she's been having like relationship issues. Uh, but for other Leos, it might have been about reconnecting with your love. Like my mom, for example, is a Leo, and she's been living abroad for a couple of years. And when Venus and the Sun were conjunct in Leo, my dad and my brother joined her. They moved as well. So it was great. So for some Leos, it might have been in this way. Um, Next, so retrograde is over, Leos. It's not gonna happen in your. The retrograde is not gonna happen in your sign for the next 8 years. Yeah. And so, on September 4th, a day after Venus turns direct, Jupiter takes up the torch of retrograde from Venus and turns direct, and not turns retrograde until December 3rd, 2023. So in your career house, it's gonna turn retrograde. So Jupiter has been in your 10th house since May, so and it has been moving at a good speed. So you might have missed some details, and now when it's retrograde, you will be able to like mm, notice those details you missed. Okay, or perhaps if there was some legal stuff when Jupiter passed that area the first time, maybe it was a no, but now when it's retrograde, maybe you will be able to go back in those legal matters, immigration matters, and then reapply to that. Okay, so it can be a good time for that. Because Jupiter rules legal stuff, documents, immigration things. Okay. Mm, what else? So I mentioned Jupiter, and next September 6th, that's when we have the last quarter moon in Gemini. So the last quarter moon marks the start of a week where not much happens. Yeah, take this time to rest. So I would say the period from September 6th until September 11th. It's a great time to rest, recharge your batteries, and get ready for the next lunar month. Um, think of it like this way: if life is a stage, um, right, the stage has been decorated with Leo themes, okay, in Leo style, because of the Leo new moon we had in August. But starting from September 6th to 11th, you start taking down those Leo decorations and putting out, hanging Virgo decorations, setting the stage for the Virgo month, okay? So think of it like in that way. So this period from September 6th to 11th is that kind of time, time of readjustment, getting ready for the next lunar month. And so the new month, the new moon is going to happen on September 14th. So if you are waiting for news, announcements, decisions, a message, you can expect them to come starting from September 12th until like September 16th. Well, I would say 4 days before and after the new moon. Okay. And also, so this new moon is going to happen in your second house of income, your possessions, valuables, resources, yeah, material possessions, self-worth, self-confidence. Yeah, those things are second house themes. And so the new moon is going to occur in that area. And this new moon is actually very interesting because it forms a kite aspect. Kite aspect is rare, and it is associated with fate, destiny, opportunities for growth. Yeah, so you might get some new opportunity, like when it comes to like income, investment, or maybe, yeah, like shared resources, self-worth. Yeah, some new stuff in that area of your life. What else? So this new moon, like as I said, the kite aspect. So the luminaries will be making opposition to Neptune in Pisces in your 8th house. And then the outer planets, the generational planets, Pluto and Uranus in Earth signs, are going to be making a friendly aspect to the luminaries in Virgo. So there's going to be an easy flow of energy because they're all in Earth signs. So there's going to be this sense of like stability, groundedness, efficiency, yeah, in the air during that new moon. And the thing is, Neptune is also friends with Uranus and Pluto. So it's there. Neptune is going to be making a sextile aspect. That's why the kite aspect is formed in the sky. And so it should be very interesting. I feel like this new moon is going to mark the beginning of an interesting month. And another reason why I'm saying this is because this is the last new moon before a solar eclipse. Remember, we have a solar eclipse in Libra in October, in mid-October. So sometimes the events associated with solar eclipse can play out a month before the solar eclipse or a month after the solar eclipse, or sometimes even around the time of the solar eclipse itself. So yeah, I would say expect some stuff, some changes, some news, some, yeah, around this new moon. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen to all Leos. It might happen to some Leos. Yeah. So it should be interesting. So I would say the first half of September is going to be relatively peaceful, uneventful. But the second half is when we start getting restless. because the new moon is gonna mark the beginning of eclipse season. Yeah, the month around eclipses is usually very hectic, very restless. Like subconsciously, energetically, I guess we can feel the change in the air. Yeah, our bodies will be literally getting ready for the changes, adjustments that gonna come with eclipses. Yeah, like I don't know if you remember, but like the month in April, it was hectic. Like my routine was turned upside down. Yeah, and I got like stability only like towards the end of May. Yeah, so be ready for that. And next, after this new moon, Mercury is going to turn direct. So this Mercury ruled that new moon, and it was in Virgo too. So it's a strong new moon. And so the thing about Mercury direct is that Mercury is at its most confusing when it turns retrograde, right when it turns retrograde, and when it's about to turn direct. So I would still expect confusion around September 15th. And the thing is, I wouldn't get too excited right away when Mercury turns direct, because it's going to be slow, picking up pace, and so I wouldn't sign contracts at least like a week after Mercury turns direct. If you're in a hurry, then I would say at least wait a couple of days after Mercury turns direct to sign new contracts, new lease and stuff, new agreements. And so yeah, it's gonna turn in your second house, so maybe like some stuff about finances. You've been reviewing your budget, maybe your spending, and now when Mercury turns direct, those problems will have been solved, and like things can go back to normal in your finances. Next, on September 22nd, the Sun is gonna enter Libra, fall equinox, yay, in the northern hemisphere. So the day and night are going to be equal, and so for Leos, that is your third house. The Sun is going to illuminate your house of siblings, your neighbors, neighborhoods, short distance travel. So starting from September 22nd, the focus is going to switch to that area of your life, and that's where you're going to have a solar eclipse in October. But I'm going to talk more about that in October. So in September, on September 29th, you have a full moon in Aries. So the full moon is going to be in your ninth house of philosophy, beliefs, long distance travel, foreigners, and the Sun is going to be in your house of siblings, short distance travel, communication, okay, your car and stuff. Yeah, so those two areas of your life are going to be illuminated by the luminaries. Like asking you to find a balance. And the thing about this full moon is that the aspects are going to be all over the place. The planets are everywhere around this full moon. Like so, yeah, expect your emotions to be all over the place as well. And so the full moons are times of culminations, illuminations. Yeah, so something regarding your travel plans. Uh, Belief house, yeah. So if you are traveling maybe around this full moon, that's when you will come back. Yeah, traveling coming to an end. Or if you are waiting for legal documents like a visa or something, maybe around this time you will get your visa. You will receive the documents that you need. Or maybe if you applied for a passport, you will receive your passport around this full moon. Okay, you might receive it. Yeah. And so, again, this full moon can be important as well, because it is the last full moon before the lunar eclipse in October. Remember, we have a lunar eclipse in Scorpio on October 28th. So the events associated with that lunar eclipse might play out around this Aries full moon on September 29th. So I would say be observant, pay attention, okay? And so the changes brought by the eclipse are exciting. I mean, sometimes it can be hectic, but I would say it's exciting because they bring like major changes. So it's cool. So this is it for September, dear Leos. As I said, like in the beginning, we have so many planets in retrograde, but thankfully the inner planets are going to turn direct, Venus and Mercury, so our love life is going to go back to normal, our communication, our finances are going to go back to normal. I mean, like we will still have 5 planets in retrograde, but don't worry. Use this time to work on the things that are already in progress. What else? And we have a new moon, which will mark the beginning of an eclipse season. So I would say expect changes maybe around this new moon. And so yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe. And I really appreciate subscribers. I have so many subscribers from different countries around the world, like different corners of the world. I was pleasantly surprised, so I appreciate that. Thank you for your time. And so yeah, I hope you have an awesome September, and I hope to see you in October. Bye.